I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda for the day?
So moved. I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Tippit, aye.
Steve and I, both aye. Minutes.
I read the minutes with the one correction that was made, and I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I will second. Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Steve and I, both aye.
Kara.
Well, what's our first thing on the agenda? Is it the hiring?
Hiring of full-time civil division.
Front office.
Busy.
Okay. So, more or less a secretary then, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Just requesting permission to hire. That's what we're doing.
Just getting started with it.
Somebody's gonna retire, right?
Yes. And, yeah.
Okay. So, can I get a motion to approve, let them hire somebody?
I would make the motion to let the sheriff go ahead with the process to replace an employee in the front business office there.
I'll second.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Steve and I,
Bull's eye.
and I'll go right into your budget.
I think in box, so, yeah, just leave it that way. Sorry.
What I looked at this morning, basically, we're going up about 500-something thousand.
Correct. Correct.
And you're actually estimating bringing in about $1 million, right?
Yes. In revenue, correct. And that's probably gonna be on the low end, to be honest.
Yeah, because I'm sure you still got to figure that the low rate from the federal prisoners.
Yeah, so that's interesting. I just spoke with them again last week about the contract. It could go into effect as soon as February, the latest April. We're gonna move from $50 per day. I submitted for 75. They encouraged us to up that even higher than that, so I resubmitted it at 90. So they're negotiating that, but I expect that to be done relatively soon. So somewhere between 75 and 90 is what we're expecting for room and board for the federal inmates. And we also increased those numbers from 10 up to 20 this year, so it's going to be big money.
But also with that, you're gonna have more employees, correct?
We got permission a couple months ago to hire the additional jailer. Those people are already hired and being trained right now, so I think we're pretty
We're sitting
sufficient.
good. We do have, a couple people that are out, or one for sure, they're out on things, but yeah, we're sitting pretty good now. One of them had experience, so he's doing pretty well.
And your meal budget, food budget and all that's all adjusted for all the new people.
Yeah, we did, I think we requested 10,000 additional dollars on that line.
Well, one thing I was reading about the legislation, and what I do with it, and I did not know this, but if someone's on Medicaid and they become incarcerated, that they no longer can use Medicaid for their medical treatment, it falls under the county. And they're trying to change that.
Well, they are trying to change that?
That was what came out.
That'd be great.
Legislative top priorities, what was it in there? Anyway, it's in here, I highlighted it so I could find it. Federal requirement that prisoners lose their Medicaid coverages once they're incarcerated. The financial burden for inmate, it falls on the county, and they're trying to make that to go back to the state Medicaid.
That'd be great.
If they're on it, so that was
That was another reason why we wanted a full-time nurse also, to stop
all that.
all the people just sending them to the hospital, sending them to the ED just because they have a, whatever, you know.
Yeah, that's huge money. Yeah, I don't know how far they'll get on that, but that's what they're looking at.
At least they're looking into it.
Yeah, yeah, they recognized it, so that's good.
But a lot of that increase, you know, most of our employees are union, so that's a 4% increase in most everyone's wages.
Nothing you can do about that. It's there.
Nope.
Just looking at the food and provision. Think that'll cover?
Yeah, because we just switched companies, we did some research, and we're gonna be saving around $800 to $1,000 a week. We switched,
Who's gonna go with?
I can't remember.
Okay. I know there's several out there.
We had US Foods and we switched to,
Rusty and Mel are getting quotes and stuff for us right now.
I was gonna say their billing got to be,
yeah,
their drop ships and stuff, it was hard to keep up with.
yep.
We're on pace to finish at 130,000 this year. We moved that to 140, but also knowing we're probably going to save some money.
Josh, where is the building maintenance estimate?
I'm going to speak on behalf of that. So Josh has been working with the revenue and cleaning up some of those. And so there's a line item that is the room and board, the 60%. We're cleaning up some of this room and board to just have one line item. Because what he was talking about just made more sense because all of them fall under the 60% with the Iowa Code 356.7. But that Iowa code, there's 4 things that can be used as for that. So what I'm going to be creating an expenditure line item that is, because I didn't want to do it until I talked to you guys and talked to Josh, because you guys are wanting to earmark for the buildings, grounds, and maintenance. Well, one of these 60% items is buildings and grounds. So what he's going to be doing for revenue, I'm going to create a line item that he will budget for expenditure as such. So that way that line item would be earmarked for what he is getting in for room and board of those county inmates. So that way you would have, if you would bring in more, it would, you know, you would have that you'd have to change that spending authority, but it would go, you would see the in and out of that 60%. Does that make sense? I mean, you still have the regular grounds and maintenance, but this one, I know you guys were talking about creating a line item or creating a fund. So that's why I talked to him with the use of that 60% can be used for these things. So let's earmark it and save up that money. That way, when you have a big project, you can watch that and, roll it over and such, so.
Hopefully we can grow that,
Yeah. So that is not in there yet because I wanted to just make sure you guys were okay with that before I made a line item. But that way you could see what they're bringing in. This would not be for the other counties and the federal, of course. This would just be for our county inmates, that they would get that recoup of the 60%. And that's where that 60% of all those inmates, those monies could be used for that.
He cleans it up for us. So we can really
Yeah,
see
you
where
can see the
everybody
in and
is.
out that way, so I just wanted to make sure everybody was on the same board before I went ahead and did that. But I felt like it would kind of, two, birds, or two stones, one bird, or whatever it is saying, so.
And we're only projecting that to be about 25,000 a year, but that's something to tuck away for if we have a major project on the road.
Like your freezers again, hopefully we got that taken care of.
And working,
Well, that would bid out of, commissary.
So we can do that.
and working with the county attorney's office, specifically Derek, on the revamping the jail fees, jail structure. I think that 25,000 can also increase, especially if we start going after reimbursement claims, which we've never done before. So that 25K is on the low end. I think we could probably project more than that. So every year to be able to roll that money over would be nice.
That's where it's nice to see that in and out. And the line item that I would use for that is I would put and label it is to coincide with 356.7. And this one that we're keeping, the end of it is 060, so it coordinates with that 60%. So that would be the same with the buildings, grounds, and maintenance. It would be the 440, and then it would be 060. So that way you could see that line is specific for that code section. Does that sound like something you guys would want me to do?
I saw that the spreadsheet that you guys are working on, the daily sentence, there was some new line items added in there to separate things out for the federal prisoners, let you more easily track all that.
Yep.
How you feeling about your computer stuff?
A lot of those lines we turned over to IT last year, so we've got zero
See
in
that?
our budget now.
He's been taking care of us.
Some of that stuff's getting old again.
Yeah.
Stuff on the desks.
Well, we're looking at going with shared services.
Okay. Some of that will work.
And I think 911 can cover all that, so that's gonna be
We can cover-
a good deal for us.
So at least go third.
Oh, he thought he'd cover it all.
That'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing out of pocket we'd have to pay is some new monitors, desks, physical equipment stuff in dispatch.
And all the cars got new laptops now, correct?
Correct.
You like that program and the cameras and everything that goes with it? Works as it should?
Working great, yep. Haven't had,
Ain't there a service agreement with them laptops that are in the car?
yeah, it's so much a year.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
And that's,
who picks that up then? IT or do you guys?
no, there's a line in here.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
right here, right, 106, yeah.
I think.
1,632. That covers that also covered,
That's for Lexus Whole as
Yeah.
well, as well. Everything's under warranty, so if body cam goes down, we ship it off, they replace it free of charge. Laptops go down.
The only thing that I seen, or did not see, is what me and Ron were then kind of talking about. Extra money set in a pool. Say, if we want to do the tuck pointing on the building, or, you know what I mean, as of right now, you don't have nothing figured in, correct?
We didn't add for that, no.
No.
I know.
Isn't that what you were wanting, that line item that I was talking about?
Right, that's gonna start us,
That's gonna start, but that's only 50,000.
right.
So that means if you do the brickwork, you're gonna be in the hole, and if the furnaces go down, you know, I spent Wednesday afternoon with you over there, and
There's no easy fix for that.
I had my eyes opened up, is all I can say. What I was thinking could be done, cannot be done.
It'd be rough. Big project.
That was a nightmare. So, okay.
You guys wanted us to limit the budget, we didn't
We get it.
squeeze in another
Yep.
500,000.
Yeah, we get it.
The majority of the
We'll leave it up
increase.
to you guys how you wanna take care of that building.
Well, there's no way you can budget for it. There's just no way.
Any questions from you guys?
I see none. I just hope they can get by on the food.
I think we're gonna be okay.
The next couple of months is, we'll see where the prices come out. Go with the new supplier, see if they've got a better deal. And it could be one that we used to go with, because they seem to have a good deal, but
I can't remember the name of the company. I mean, we do have, you know, a fixed plant, equipment maintenance and buildings and grounds maintenance, you know, that's
that's more day to day.
it's like 47,000, but that could be roto-rooter, I mean, that could be a whole host of things, you know, the generator, I mean, just,
There's another issue where they've got the grease traps set up.
well, I think we got some of that fixed. That pipe was, I think that's part of the reason why the grease was getting back in there, because there was a pipe that was rusted off, so they came in and replaced that. So, and we got rid of all the small shampoo bottles, everything. We went to a dispenser, so they can't flush shampoo bottles anymore. So just doing, that was all through commissary also. Just trying to do things to,
It's amazing of how much money that people will drop off to the inmates and they send them down there. It's amazing.
I'll give these guys a heads up later on what I ordered last Wednesday. I won't take up time during the meeting, so.
okay.
All right, I have no more questions.
I have no problem. I'm good.
To discuss and appoint member of the board of health. See, we got one application.
Yes. I would move to fill a position on the Board of Health for the doctor PA person with Pam Keel.
Okay. I have a second.
I'll second that.
Take call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Steve and I,
Bull's eye.
there you go.
What's the term ending date?
Ooh, I didn't bring that paperwork with me. That's on those big sheets. Do you want one of these initials? That's all right.
That's tight.
Oh,
I'd be in the same boat.
I did not know.
According to this, Gina, they're all, were expired 12/31 of 2025.
So the term is 3 years, 2 years? 3. 3 years?
Yeah. There's two will make, the last two ain't due until the 27th, year 27.
She would be replacing Carl Holmes.
Okay,
Term ending December 31st, 2028 is what you're saying.
correct.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
you guys. You two.
Last time, Barb.
Yeah, I had to drag her along, right?
Oh, yeah.
Good morning.
This is land use, not-
Barb, or whoever, I'm on that, on the sanitary part of it.
Yep.
Way down, it says contract carriers, Lynn County, what's that for?
So this is for in case that there is somebody out that, maybe like Matt or I, that, somebody needs to go out and check a septic, maybe have some sort of contract. I left that there, that was from prior years.
Okay.
This year, we're gonna work on like kind of having an MOU or an MOA with some other county to figure out, like, if we're down, can they come help us? And if they're down, then we can go help them, kind of like a mutual agreement.
Okay,
I don't think it's gonna be that much, but we don't know until we know, so we just left that line item the same.
I understand.
So, I mean, as we know, Barbie's gonna be leaving us here this Friday. So far, what I've been talking with Matt is that this summer, or spring to fall, we're gonna have maybe a seasonal person, and we can discuss this later. And then if we feel that we still need that third person, then we can make that into a permanent position, and that's what that third salary, comes into. But if we field, because I'm gonna be out in the field with Matt often this summer to learn everything septic-wise. We need somebody in the office, so that's where that seasonal part comes in. After that, if we feel that we're gonna be very busy and we do still need that third person, then we're gonna make the determination to hire them full-time. And other changes, most of the changes really relate to our private well grant program. This year, we got grant fundings taken away, and I don't want that to happen for future years. So I'm kind of maximizing the use of it to make sure that we use all of it. There's a possibility that we could lose it like it happens this year, but there's also the possibility that we could get more money. Like the more that we use, the more that they give us money, if they can. So they take money from other counties and they can give it to us. This grant, we provide services for people that need to do well testing, well plugging, well reconstruction. They get money, and then we also get a administrative fee. So like for testing, it costs us $38 for the testing and the shipping. And then we get that refunded, and we get $125 of administrative fees. So if you go look at the revenue, I anticipated 64,000, and 45,000 of that will come from the grant. And 33,000 from the expenses come from the grant as well.
It's based on use.
Yes.
You know, it's there to use, but if you don't,
You could lose it.
right, but it doesn't affect the levy. It's in and out.
And so I updated like all our supplies. It went from 100 to 1,000, but that's all grant refundable. We were able to charge our safety shoes to that, so we wouldn't have to charge it to the county. We also updated the education and mileage and travel, because both Matt and I are gonna be doing credits, and we have to keep up with all of our credits annually. And that's again all grant refundable. We added a new line item for system plug-in and well assessment. That's again all grant refundable. And we are working towards promoting this program so more people utilize it.
You guys, did we bring you on to the new radio system?
No,
So who do you talk to?
till I'm blue in the face.
Okay.
Dude,
We should probably look at putting him on the new system. So if they need to call into the sheriff's office or something.
and I turned in the radios.
You did, right handheld. All right, I'll follow up on that.
Thank you.
Okay? Because I see there's just a little bit of money in here, and I thought, that won't do anything on this new system. There's $150 put in there.
We used to have two. I turned them both back in.
You never got
Today.
one from the new
No.
system then?
I think you, Grace, got, what, 7 or 8?
I got one for myself, and then the rest are for medical examiner team, yeah.
So that's what I was told then, that Grace got 7 or 8, and I didn't know why that would have been, but whatever she gets would be outside of our office.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll follow up on that.
Thanks.
Did not know that.
Thank you.
Okay,
And the only thing is, this grant can change year to year. It could be lower, it could be higher. So closer to April or May, we might have to adjust the line items related to the grant to update the expending authority and the revenue. But we won't know until April, May time.
so you've been putting $5,000 in for a new vehicle, I see.
Yeah, and there's, I think there's 80 or 90,000, Tracy, in there right now, I believe. So we have diligently put it in there for when we need it.
Okay,
But then we'd have to put spending authority back in the budget
yeah, yeah.
which, that doesn't take much. And then a vehicle could be purchased and it's already
Right into funds.
funds there.
Okay. I have no more questions. Looks like it stays the same, identical.
A little lower, but yeah.
The radios would be a different funding stream, I would assume.
Well,
Somehow.
Well, that's what I'm kind of thinking about right now. If they had them before, we should have.
They should have.
Now.
Should have been added in the county.
And since he turned them in,
I did.
It should have been.
I'd like to know who dropped the ball on that. I was on that committee and all that, so. Let me do some checking.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
We got 5 minutes here. Okay. Discuss and appoint BJ Wason, integrated roadside management board to replace Shelby Williams. I see we got an app. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, did you guys?
You guys saw that one too?
It's a printer issue. I didn't bring my copy because it was making me busy looking
Yes,
at it. So I don't, yeah, at least we could identify the name.
Yeah.
I
It
took
was
my glasses
awful.
off and everything, thought, whoa.
I haven't had this kind of vision since well, December.
So I didn't look at it very long. So. Good girl.
Yeah, that'll drive you nuts.
So I will take a motion to approve.
Perfect. Nice to
BJ.
see you.
I would make the motion to approve BJ Wason on the on the roadside lead manager.
Yep.
I'll have to get the initials right.
There you go. Okay, call for
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye,
Bull's eye.
and he is approved.
I want to put this away.
So on to number 7.
Yes. That's gonna take a little bit more. Number 7, which is, we have to appoint. We don't have nobody's name now, do we?
It's a letter from, he's got names in there.
Mhm. I'll let one of you guys, whoever wants to make the motion, you can name the names. Do we have to do this 2 ways? We gotta remove some and we gotta appoint one. So should we keep that separate?
I would.
Okay,
I would accept the resignations of the appropriate people. You could loop them in together and then you could do an appointment.
okay?
Would it be 2 motions then?
Yes.
So I'd make the motion to accept the resignation of Mindy Eisenbeiss and Amanda, is it Seiler?
And okay, just making sure it wasn't. Yep, that was it.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bull's eye.
Okay. Then can I get a motion to the appointments?
Then I'll make the motion to appoint Richard Loy as a medical examiner investigator.
I will second.
Okay, call for a vote on him.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bull's eye.
There you go.
And that is term ending December 31st, 2026.
I'd like to recognize Mindy and Amanda for their service as medical examiner investigators for Denton County.
Grace,
on the office equipment maintenance, are you on the printer program with everybody else? Okay.
This medical health services, 65,000.
That's a spending authority for our local public health services grant.
Oh, I've got it. That's what I figured it was.
Yep, that's a grant reimburses for staff time for local
Yep,
public health
yep.
services duties, so it's very easy to spend that one up during the year.
The one above it is a grant also.
The $10,000, yep, that's from HHS. It's our immunization services grant. So we use that grant for reimbursement for time spent on immunization activities, anything to do with promotion, outreach, and then the actual, like, physical materials themselves.
And you've got storage for everything? Where you can get at it?
Yes.
Okay.
So it even went down a little bit, correct?
Yep.
Perfect.
That's correct.
I have no questions for her.
No. She went through it 2 months ago? Month ago.
Yep, at our Board of Health meeting, yep.
Board of Health meeting, line by line, and explained it all very well for everyone. And we've got one this Friday. Next Friday.
Nope, it'd be the second, next one would be second Friday of February, second Friday of the month.
This Friday's health
Okay. Any questions for Grace?
I have none.
Thanks, Grace.
Thank you.
Thanks a bunch.
Okay, discuss and act on FYI 27 health, dental, and vision insurance rates.
Sure does say that.
If I remember right, it stays the same.
Yes.
I know nothing about this.
Yep, yeah.
This is all on you guys.
The only thing that increased was the HSA, I think it was the HSA, whatever.
60 cents, wasn't it?
Yeah,
With peanuts.
yeah. But for health to remain the same, that was big. I wasn't expecting that.
Now we'll have to get our in-county group back on everybody to make sure they get their wellness, everything done, so we can get that. I think that's 5% instead of 4 this year. Here's mine, already done.
Haven't turned it in yet.
Okay. So can I get a motion to approve the insurance rates for the health, dental, and vision?
I'll make a motion to approve the fiscal year 27 health, dental, and vision insurance rates.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bulls eye.
No.
That was nice when they put that in that folder so you could, look at it.
Broke it down and
Yep.
he explained it. That's good.
We're way ahead. We'll touch on Mark stuff here in a little bit. Derek, that's not a timed item, so let's hit what you got.
Yeah, so I just proposed a resolution, given our prior date, resolution that we set a date to have our auction for the, or excuse me, not auction, our opening sealed bid / auction date for the animal shelter. And given how the code is kind of laid out, with like public notice and stuff, there's specific dates, and so I thought it'd probably be a good idea to get that approved by you guys, what's going to be said in the public notice, and then also the sealed bid packet, which includes all the terms and conditions, and then also the form that they have to fill out. I know there's folks asking what this was, so I did something where Shelby's kind of been showing them, but it was a draft deal, like they can't, like it literally has a watermark, it's like draft. No, this can't do that, because they all know that it has to be approved and public notice first before accepting bids. And so that's just kind of giving you guys notice what the public notice will say, and then also what the terms and conditions are gonna be, which should have been disclosed to you.
Okay. It hasn't gone to the paper, right?
No, that's what once this is all good to go, that's, it'll happen, probably be submitted this week, and I don't know if it'll be put out in the paper this week or next week. I get so confused with, with when the papers will accept that, but we will be within the timeline.
Okay, I know there's a timeline, is it 10 days or 20 days?
It's no more than 20 days, but it can't be no less than 4 days before. So it's like 4 and 20 days before, which Friday would be the start of the 20 days.
Okay.
And so even if it got posted next week, we would still be within that time frame.
Question on that, the packets, when we get it all together, where can those be picked up at?
Probably either auditor or with conservation.
Okay.
Yep, and, yeah, because they should have copies of those.
Okay.
Because I think Shelby even started putting up her sign and stuff for tours and all that.
Okay. So can I get a motion on resolution 26-5?
I'll make a motion, nope, go ahead. I'll make a motion to accept resolution 26-5, approval to post a sealed bid packet for real estate.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Steve and I.
Bullseye.
Thank you, fellas.
Along the same line, are you gonna do the same thing with that other patch of land?
Yeah, we are. We were just waiting for the abstract to be submitted, and given the time, because we just got that not too long ago,
Okay.
we're just gonna wait to see how the flow of this goes.
Out
Gotcha.
there, they give me the book.
Okay, thank you.
Just so that we can have a good procedure.
Flow.
Right.
Gotcha.
Derek, do you want a copy of the signed resolution as well?
I don't need one.
Okay, so just one is fine.
Okay.
Okay.
I know where to go, where I can get one.
You do?
Right.
We've got 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Reports.
I didn't have anything last week.
I had 2 Zoom meetings on Thursday the 15th. One was through East Central Workforce Development Board. That was just a quick, it wasn't even a 20-minute Zoom. Discussed budgeting things. And then we had the Heartland, wasn't it Heartland Zoom? Yeah, that you guys all sat in on as well. That was like 40 people were on that call,
Yeah.
I think. And they went through a packet.
Explaining what's gonna be done with the packet and how to, especially for our office, how to administrate and send that out.
Yeah. And that's quite a bit of information they're asking for.
Well, and that is done annually, but it's good for us since we've never administrated that packet and what to do with it, so.
Yeah, that's gonna.
And they sent, what I liked is they sent out the slides and everything for us to, because we got people at the counter a couple different times, and so reference back to, just getting interrupted with it,
So, and a lot of that stuff is pre-filled, right? Some
Yeah.
of the packet stuff that.
Yeah, we'll just have to get on to the department heads to make sure, like for property, everything's up to date. That's, I think, the biggest thing, is getting that property up to date, so then when those packets come out for everything else, everything's up to date, so when they have, we make sure that we're not missing anything, or if something needs to be taken off insurance and that sort of thing, so.
They were asking for a lot of information, but that was all. I've got I've got my Heartland, meeting in Tama on Thursday, so. I get a haircut tomorrow, that's it. That's all I got. That doesn't have to be in there, does it?
Heartland meetings Thursday.
The Heartland in Tama. Yeah.
All right, I had landfill last week. Pretty quiet. Windy, couple days they weren't open. Of course, couldn't take garbage in. Also, I sat in and listened to the WMA on the Zoom meeting. That's something else we'll have to discuss later on, budget-wise. You know, they're asking for, I don't remember, $8,000 or $10,000. Last year, we gave them 4 or 5, half of what they were asking. So we'll have to discuss that later on. And then Wednesday afternoon, I spent a couple hours at the sheriff's department. Got my eyes opened up for the heating and cooling. That is big time commercial. Every room, more or less, put it in terms that everybody would understand. They got, the heating system is actually in the equipment room. And then in the ceiling, in every room and everything, it had like a radiator with a fan behind it. So that's where there is so many motors running in that building, it's pathetic.
So each room
Each
has a
room
fan
has its own radiator in the ceiling with a fan behind it, so it's for heating or cooling, you know what I mean?
There's like a unit in the ceiling.
Really?
Every room.
There's like
Yeah.
27 of them throughout the building.
So that's part of the reason why the electricity is so
Oh.
high.
I started counting and I'd be laying out, there's 80-some motors that are running 24 hours a day.
Is this a boiler system?
It's the ground,
Reading, isn't it the?
Geothermal.
geothermal,
Geothermal?
yeah.
So there's a huge pump on that. as
There's
well.
a 10 horsepower on that.
There's 7 pumps on that.
7 pumps? My. So
So,
each room can regulate the amount of heat that they want then?
yes,
Does it have to be that way by code, or?
It's just a system that was installed.
yeah,
It's a Mitsubishi system.
right.
There's a big code.
And they won't even sell parts to somebody that's not a Mitsubishi dealer.
And the dealer is,
Well, there's, the red trucks out of Waterloo, we found out of the dealer, Young Plumbing and Heating. Otherwise, it was a big place out of Des Moines. I can't.
do they break down often? I mean, is this are we,
The problem is, right now, they got 2 of them units in the building, I don't wanna say where at, but 2 of them are leaking. And there's really no way to find out where it's leaking, except they run right around 200 pounds of pressure normally. The only way to find the leak is when you bump it up to 700 to 800 pounds. And I just went, yeah, right.
so what else are we gonna blow out? with
Yeah.
that pressure?
Correct. So that's, the sheriff's problem, right? What do? Do you keep dumping stuff in? If I had a guess, it's probably one of them radiators that are up in the ceiling that's leaking. I'm guessing.
Put some silver seal in it.
Well, that's just it. But see, all the units are connected together. And they don't have them zoned good enough. My opinion, they should have ball valves off, like you can shut this one off,
Right.
but yet heat the next room next door.
It's not
Common
used.
sense, wasn't figured in on that.
Right.
You either shut it all down or,
Kind of runs it blind.
So So they can't get access to all this piping to see where all this is at?
Oh, yeah, you can. It's up in the attic, but where do you chase it down? You gotta remember, like I said, you'd have to see where the equipment room is and how far them lines, two lines, you know, you got a return and a charging line, go all the way to that unit and turn around, come all the way back to that equipment room. So there's two lines to every one of them.
And it's pretty close to the equipment room being on the east end of the building.
Yeah.
And the furthest ones are back in the jail, and they're clear all the way to the west end. There's a lot of distance there.
Let's get back to Mark here. Mark will take your budget now.
Okay.
Let me do this resignation quick,
Yep.
so I don't forget.
Yep.
Just one part-time driver, Rodney Clark, effective 1/5/2026.
Okay, can I get a motion to, accept the resignation of Rodney Clark?
I would make a motion to accept the resignation of the part-time driver, Rodney Clark, and make sure to thank him for his service, please.
I will. He was with us for about 5 years, and he lives in Brandon, so he's commuting to Vinton. Job opened up in Independence at the hospital for valet, so he would, a little change of pace, so decided to go to Independence.
Can understand. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Aye, go aye. Go. Records, additional, that's good. All done, good. Okay.
Your vehicles you had ordered forever and ever finally got here.
Yeah, they came quicker than we anticipated.
Yes, that's cool.
Yep.
Everything's good there.
Yeah.
Did you get the old one sold?
Yep.
Did really?
Yep. Sold them to the same person. The person put a bid on a reserve and ended up with both of them on accident. But he was okay with it, so.
Vehicle replacement, I see you got some, what would you be replacing?
So the way it works with the transit, we're in a pool with the whole state. So it goes on based on mileage and years of the vehicle. So when your vehicle comes up for renewal, then you have the opportunity to replace basically your oldest bus. And we do have one that I would anticipate getting word anytime to get another one ordered. So we'll be looking at getting just one this year. Last year we got the two. This year we'll be replacing one. So I did leave that line item the same. So what we had talked about, and the other groups too, is committing some funds. So I would anticipate, like 50,000 being spent this fiscal year on a new vehicle, and then the other 50 be put away for future vehicles to kind of help build that up, because there's going to be a point, these last couple of vehicles we bought were those transit vans, and they're a little bit less money. It's going to get to a point where some of our bigger buses will need replaced, and they're a lot more money.
Oh, yeah.
So I could like to save for that. It'll be a while, because we'll have a couple minivans that are going to come up sooner. So that'll be nice, but.
The larger buses, what's the wait time on something like that now?
I think those cutaways you can get fairly quick, I think 6 months or so, but the price tag goes way up.
Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, kind of like that, the committed funds, if we could put 50,000 from this budget towards future use.
I don't see any other way for us to try to keep up with that.
Right.
We're just commit funds every year towards it,
Yep.
knowing that we're not gonna spend it this year, but
Yep.
takes the sting out of next year.
Yep. Yeah, because when it's your turn to get a vehicle, you don't want to pass it up, because you gotta get back in line, so.
Only question I got, towards the bottom.
Yep.
Buildings and ground maintenance, 12.5, what are you planning on for that?
Nothing planned, that's just in case something major went out. In this past year, we had some garage doors that the springs have broke, and those are kind of pricey. You know, it's a fairly new vehicle, so there shouldn't be a huge expense, but if you had a furnace or something, air conditioner go out, then we've got that available. But there's no projects planned.
You believe everything's working as it should in the building, everything's good?
Yep.
Biggest thing that blows my mind, how warm do you keep the shop area for the vans?
Out there, I think there's 2 thermostats, and they're set at 60.
Really?
And I have it on timer, so at night it kicks down, and,
Okay.
you know,
$1,500 to heat that building for the year.
yeah. It's got the radiant, the two tube heaters
Sheriff's
that run
office
across.
get by for 4 days on $1,500.
Same square footage too, probably.
Just can't get over that.
What kind of insulation does that have? Is it?
Fiberglass.
Okay.
Everything's fiberglass. 8-inch batting, paper barrier on the inside, and then 20 inches of blown fiberglass and safety.
Yeah, so it does pretty good.
I'm impressed.
And we open those doors all day long.
It ain't so bad if you open one, but if you have to open 2 at the
Yeah.
same time, the way that wind was yesterday.
Sucks it out right now.
But basically, you went up a little bit, I see in your budget.
Yeah, not much.
Not quite $1,000.
Yeah. And that was just moving some numbers around, some stuff we saw this year that basically took away from a couple of categories and added to a couple others just by a little bit. There's a formula each year, because we do quarterly reports too that we give to our administrator, and then they pass it on to the state. So there's a formula based on ridership, age, and then our expenses as far as our funding, because we get state and federal funding. So this fiscal year, our funding is up quite a bit based on the formula.
Now, it's been a while since I've been involved, complaints anyway. I have not got any complaints.
Well, good.
Good things I've heard. Do you haul many kids to school?
Yeah.
You do?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I mean, our biggest bus is 18 passengers, so if that's a lot of kids, then yeah.
That's a lot of kids.
Do you get anything from the schools
Nope,
to help with that?
nope.
So the individual's gotta pay a little bit, correct?
Yeah, it's $1.50.
Yeah,
Yep.
That's pretty cheap, right?
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
and that's all in town here?
Yeah.
Nothing in, none of the other towns, right?
Nope, just Benton.
I have no more questions. Looks good, Mark. You're doing an excellent job.
Okay, thank you. I do in the future when we're back to being able to do raises. Right now, what I wanted to do this with part-time drivers, there's kind of a big gap between, we have a CDL. If you have a CDL, it's one rate, and non-CDL's the other. We only have three drivers that don't have the CDLs. It's about a $3 an hour difference. I was hoping to get those a little closer, because it feels like the one driver that's at that lower rate is one of our newest drivers and does a lot of the work, and it's tough because they're doing the same job, basically. So it'd be nice in the future I want to get those a little more normalized, and do something when a new hire comes on, start them at a rate, and then 6 months, revisit if they're doing a good job, bump it up, and then to where maybe within a year they can get to that top rate. But we'll revisit that next year.
You got plenty of CDL drivers then?
Yeah, there's enough. Yeah, we only have 2 buses that require CDL.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, it's just really taking care of the school kids for the most part.
All right.
Yep.
Yep. All right, thanks, Mark.
Yep.
Thanks, Mark.
So I can touch on a little bit more about the sheriff's office. The jail part of it, each cell has its own unit, which I did not know anything about. There is a law, the state says, you probably know all about it. That air for that room, kind of like this right here, stays in here, transfers, and it has to be moved.
So we can't have a return anywhere but in that room.
Right, correct. So every jail cell has its own unit outside of the jail itself. And then it's not but, the ductwork where it comes into the cell itself, and then the return coming back. And the return coming at, looks like it was in a cement, the way it looked to me.
Yeah.
Poured in a cement, that comes to the bottom of the unit, and then it goes out the top, and then it goes through the wall.
The jail's actually a building within a building.
Yeah.
There's like individual apartments in each.
Yes.
There's a hallway in behind it.
About a 4-foot hallway all the way around.
And there's furnaces and stuff and all the plumbing stuff is back in there. And there's 3 different areas you can get into. You can't, at no point does it just make a big loop around the building.
There's locked doors everywhere.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then there's firewalls up, we ran a bunch of cabling for cameras. There's firewalls. You gotta be a thin guy to get around up there. My size doesn't fit.
So what can be done, I mean, is to stay with the code and then with the requirements from the state and federal and they don't have.
See, my train of thought, when I went in there Wednesday, I kept thinking, well, the last umpteen years, put a furnace in there like that, every room. Can't be done. Cannot. There's no ductwork, because it's just 2 lines going over that unit that's in that room, in that.
The fan and.
Yes. Cannot be done. There's no ductwork anywhere.
The only place you could get away with it would be back in the jail.
So, and then, like,
Maybe.
the 911, the dispatch area there, that has got all the computers, the screen, TV screens, and everything, and of course, they got all the monitors of the cameras and everything on another place, that room always gets hot.
Right.
So I suggested a guy should put a mini split in that room alone, just to help cool that down. Because it does get hot, correct? That's what I was told.
We even have, it's probably a couple of years old now, but a bid to put a mini split in there.
Because they require it. I mean, computers require it.
Yeah, it gets warm in there.
Yeah. I mean, most likely rooms are cold because of the equipment.
The drawback is, you're gonna have to go through the south wall by the window somewhere, dispatch to put the unit on the south side of the building. Or maybe even on the ceiling, but you'd have to have the pipes come out of the wall and come up. Because you wouldn't want to protrude through the rubber roof.
No.
So you'd have to come through the brick, you know, and I believe they said it's 20 inches thick, that wall. So it ain't like you're gonna go up there with a
Yeah, that's a
6-inch hammer drill and,
tornado proof, that's a tornado room.
Right.
so like I said, really got my eyes open.
And then all the wiring for the radios and everything leaves that room underground and goes back to the equipment room. So if the rest of the building went down, that equipment room is a tornado room, and that room is, and emergency management is. So the theory is like an F4 tornado strike, those areas would still stand.
Cheaper to build a new one?
Is there any counties that you can talk to that have geothermal, that, what do they do to save money on utilities? I mean, why reinvent the wheel here? What if, is there any other counties that we could reach out to and see what they can do? Or what they do, if there's some easy change that we could make that would do this?
I'd almost guarantee they do not have you.
Well, and that's where, I mean,
That's-
our jail is relatively new, but
Yeah.
I didn't know if there's some cost savings that other people do, if it's something that you could implement here.
We've had an energy audit done with Alliant Energy. It's been a long time ago now. And they said our biggest expense at that time was our lighting. So we had it all converted to.
Fluorescent?
No, no, no.
LED.
They're doing LED.
We had it all, we spent like $10,000, and our bill went down not a penny.
I was trying to get around all these aspects. I even thought about, you got the system, you got everything there, how about putting a big boiler in there for, like natural gas to heat the water, do away with the ground pumps and everything, and use the unit like a boiler system, okay? Well, that would save you money.
That's what it sounded like when you said each one has its own fan and,
What are you gonna do when it cools though, in the summertime?
The same unit does the air conditioning.
Yes,
right, because the geothermal
yes,
runs.
so that's out, so that idea gets thrown out.
We've got all kinds of problems, but I don't hear any solutions.
No,
My
no. Like I
goodness.
said, I come in here with an open mind thinking I'm gonna solve this, we're gonna save money, and my mouth hit the ground after growing up.
There's no federal money, there's no state money, you nothing.
I had Jake Robbie come and look at it years ago, and he said, the people that put this in, he said, this is nice work. And there's a lot of piping back there. He said, this is nice work. He said, but I can't help you because I'm not a Mitsubishi dealer and they won't sell me parts.
What would it take for him to come and do it?
Oh, boy. At the time, he didn't sound interested. That's been
I think he's probably busy enough the way it
8, 9
is.
years ago. He was absolutely sure his people could operate it, but he said, I can't get you parts. And then the control for the place is a computerized deal that is in a computer, and then there's a little touch screen control box hanging on the wall back there that you can adjust it with. And it takes a long time to adjust.
You can monitor every unit.
Oh, you can control?
You can monitor it, see if it's, what
Okay.
it's doing.
But the person in the room can set their level of
Right.
comfort.
Somewhat. Like the jail, they don't have access to
They
it.
don't do that, okay.
But if you turn it up in your area, it'll take several hours to adjust. It's not automatic. Set it on 72 and within 20 minutes it's at 72. It takes a little while. The bigger the area, the longer it takes back there. The jail, it always seemed to me that they started on the north side and went around in a loop. Of course, there's so many pipes and stuff up there, I never tried to follow them. But you get around to the south side, and those last two cells, they're the cold cells in the place.
By the time it gets to.
Because they're on the end of a run. You can, if you adjust something, you can hear the valves and stuff up in the ceiling back in that furnace room. You can hear them click, and like they're opening and sending water and stuff, but
When they're running their glycol.
Yes.
others wouldn't suppose that tank would hold
Oh, I don't know.
150 gallon.
I was gonna say, probably 200-300. I didn't look inside of it, but you can see the water level on that tank. And
The water heater is, it gets drained and inspected every year or two.
Yep.
The water heater's 500 gallons.
And see, that's natural gas.
Yes.
That's natural gas, and then the stoves
Yep.
are natural gas. And that's the only thing that runs gas over
Yes.
there.
So as this thing leaks, they gotta keep adding water and glycol?
Yes.
What's this mixture strength, probably 50/50?
I guess I don't know. I don't think they run it. The glycol is mainly so the limestones aren't corroding or, you know what I mean, the lime up,
Right.
you know. And then the other thing is the Freon. It's leaking Freon, one of the units, you know, so. And of course,
Of course,
it's,
the one that I'm very sure is leaking is where you gotta keep it cool because there's people in there 24/7.
yeah,
Is the jail control and the dispatch.
Can you put a dye in that to see where the leak is?
no. No. Because I thought they could go up there. I seen them sensors, I never seen them work or anything where detectors, you know, you hold them and all that.
Sniffers, yeah.
They,
There's nothing.
no, they said, well, you can either replace one of them units that are up there, okay? The estimate they give me is right around $4,000 to replace one, just for that radiator deal, okay? Probably another double it if you're gonna hire a plumber to put it in,
And they're all in the
okay?
city.
And then you're gonna have to turn around and charge the system again,
Oh,
because you opened it up.
right.
And there's 7 of them furnaces that run the individual besides the main water source. I mean, it is a nightmare. I
You're
mean,
worth a tour if you got the time.
Yeah, I have never been in, other than, thank
It
goodness,
is.
I've never been in any further than the front door.
it is something to see. I mean, it's
Yeah.
clean. I mean, everything was installed. I mean, it's clean.
Yeah,
It's not hodgepodge together or zip tied together. I mean, it's a clean unit, but to me, that, you know,
There's a lot of stuff back
a lot of, when that was installed, that was not installed what I would call for maintenance down the road when you know, it gets some age on it. And I'm feeling that's the problem right now. We are getting some age on it. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna just start putting these units in at $10,000? I mean, we got 2 of them leaking now,
right.
so there's gonna be 20,000 just to stick them in, and you're at where you are now.
Right. So that has nothing to do with all the tuck pointing and everything else that's
No.
going on in that building?
No.
All the concrete work and everything else?
How old are the units?
As old as the jail, when the
Which
jail was
is-
built.
2011. That's when we moved in there.
How long will they manufacture parts for it?
What, they gotta manufacture stuff 3 years after they discontinue the pieces?
I'm sure you could probably hodgepodge something together.
Well, yeah, that's an aftermarket. Well, you probably can't get aftermarket stuff.
And there's a book on every piece of equipment.
It should have never been installed years ago. It
Yeah.
should have never, ever. All right. Any unfinished business? I don't believe so.
Have none.
Okay.
Just one quick question. The preservation, people with the board being 5 now, and could possibly go to 7, that's going to affect their budget, because there's training that they have to budget for and whatever, and they're looking for some guidance. Should they budget for 5, or should they budget for 7?
Can they find 2 more?
You had said,
Robert was, he thought he had 2 more he could get. I'll recontact him.
yeah, because they want to move forward, they have to present, but they just don't, you know.
If they can find 2 more, then I have no problem with that. then.
Okay. They're just wanting to know where we were at with it, so that they can do their budget, because like you say, that for them, because there is a lot of training that goes on, and for new people to come in, there's training that they have to have, and then the people that are on the board have to. So,
I will get ahold of Robert and see how he's coming.
okay.
So that's what I would say, if they can find somebody, then they can figure that in the budget.
Well, I might ask them just to, pencil some numbers in for 7.
Okay.
Yeah, if that isn't gonna be the way it is, then you have to do 5.
Yeah,
Because their budget's not that high.
no, they,
It shouldn't take too much. Okay, I'll pass that on as well.
okay. Public comments. I hear none. Take a motion to adjourn.
Just one quick thing. I know a while back here, we had that, somebody had posted something on the Casey's window or whatever about some of the deputies not being sworn in or whatever and the rest of. Was that tied to you, Eric, at all? Have you investigated that? Is that all just done?
So, the part involves like, criminal matter currently being held at the, currently being handled, in the district court. But as far as like that goes, the big part is like being certified, police officer. And I believe I touched base in this room before, like a lot of the times, like for bonds, like when we do the oaths or stuff, it's because I had to do one too, because like I have like insurance policy kind of on me. So it's like, I swear to uphold the laws of the Iowa Constitution, United States Constitution and stuff, and then copy paste, or signed it, send it to the insurance company. The big part's being the certified, licensed, or certified Iowa peace officer. Is that, did I state that correctly? Yeah. That's what essentially is the big important thing. And as far as like that goes, I've always considered it like stuff for the insurance for that, if that helps make sense.
Well, I guess the question is anybody that was arrested by these guys, do they have a legitimate right to go back and say that has to be thrown out? I don't know how that works. That's why I'm asking the question.
No. Nope, and it's been tried in our court systems, and even the federal systems, and they say no. That you can't just throw out the case because of that.
Okay. I was just curious. I just didn't know how that worked.
Yeah, and we got orders saying that, and yeah. a lot more time than I wanted to spend on it, so.
So okay, that's it. Well, that's it? That's all I did.
You can't adjourn.
We're in recess till 11?
Okay, reset. Can I get a motion? Well, because the second thing ain't gonna be televised.
I get that, but you still would have to you still have to have the notes. You can't adjourn because the agenda still says an 11 o'clock item. I know it's not
Okay.
televised, but for open records policy, that verbiage I would not use,
Okay.
right?
I that question.
Recess.
The meeting, to adjourn dies for lack of second?
Yep.
Well, then I would move that we adjourn until 11
Not-
o'clock.
Not adjourned.
Recess.
Or recess until 11 o'clock, there's the word.
I can second that one.
Call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Stephen, aye.
All right.
you contacted the high school at all about that? They have geothermal out there too. And they would have put theirs in 2007, because that's when the high school was built.
You have
The problem, well, see, I had, Rick, our maintenance guy,
Yep,
takes care of the courthouse. He took care of the blind spot.
yep,
That's geothermal too.
yep.
So he knows how things work. The whole problem is there's too many electric motors running 24 hours a day. That's the problem.
Well, I know that with our geothermal in our house, that we cannot bump up the heating or the cooling more than 2 degrees at a time. Otherwise, it kicks over to all
Electric.
electrical.
Yep.
And then you just get cranked. So you just want to slow that up. So I didn't know either if they were, like, if you're.
The motion to come out of recess.
I'll make the motion to come out of recess.
I'll second.
Call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
Go ahead and go right in the exempt section, right?
Yes.
All right. And we don't need a motion, I don't think to get it there, it's just exempt.
Okay.
Right? I don't think so.
I thought you had to have motion before, or is
Oh, that's
Say
fine.
we
Oh, is
got-
that because it's closed session?
Yeah, this isn't closed session, because it's just exempt from the open meetings requirements. So,
All right, I will close this again. Now, we are now out of our exempt session. You exited at 12 o'clock noon.
So is this the time we could adjourn? I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Bull's eye.
Stole your motion, Bruce.
You know what?